If you've ever wondered why some men effortlessly drive women crazy with desire and others get ignored or stuck in the friend zone, then listen closely, because what you're about to hear can completely transform the way women see you. And the best part? It has nothing to do with having a six-pack, being rich, or being a smooth talker. It's not about flashy cars or expensive clothes. It's about something far more powerful: attitude. Yes, attitude is what separates ordinary men from unforgettable ones. There are certain behaviors, specific postures, ways of speaking, moving, reacting, and carrying yourself that awaken a primal fascination in women. And these behaviors are not reserved for the elite. They are available to any man who decides to embody them. In this video, you will discover the 10 attitudes that make women go absolutely crazy over you. Attitudes that trigger attraction not just on a superficial level, but on a deep, emotional, even psychological level. And make no mistake, these are not gimmicks. These are not pickup lines. These are not manipulations. These are powerful internal shifts that, once integrated, change your energy completely. And that's what women feel even before you say a word. Whether you think you're not confident enough, not experienced enough, or even if you've been rejected more times than you can count. None of that matters now, because what you'll learn in this video will give you something most men never even discover: presence. The type of presence that makes you magnetic without effort. The type of presence that makes women chase you instead of you chasing them. And all of this starts not with trying to impress anyone, but with deciding that your energy will speak louder than your words. You're about to unlock attitudes that will reshape your identity, not just in how women respond to you, but in how you see yourself. These are the same attitudes that high-value men use naturally, without acting, without pretending, and without lowering their standards. Because real attraction starts when you stop trying to be liked and start living with purpose, clarity, and conviction. And yes, it all depends on you. So before we dive into these powerful insights, I want you to do something right now. If you're truly committed to stepping into the best version of yourself, type in the comments. It all depends on me. That single mindset will already begin to separate you from the masses. And make sure you subscribe, because this channel is about building real men, not just giving tips, but forging a new identity that commands respect, admiration, and desire. Stay with me until the end, because every attitude you'll learn here builds on the last one. And if you miss even one, you're missing a key piece of the puzzle. Now let's begin. The first attitude that completely transforms the way women see you is emotional detachment from outcome. Most men interact with women hoping to get something in return: validation, approval, affection. But the man who detaches from outcome operates from a different frequency. He's not there to be chosen. He's there to express who he is. He's not needy because he already validates himself. And women feel this instantly. The moment you detach from needing a specific result, you become unpredictable, mysterious, and powerful. Your presence becomes a challenge, not a request. And this subtle shift in energy makes women lean in, wondering what it is about you that feels so different. The second attitude is controlled dominance. This has nothing to do with being arrogant or aggressive. It's about owning your space, knowing what you want, and leading interactions with confidence. A man who speaks calmly but with certainty, who walks with posture, who decides with conviction, he is magnetic. Controlled dominance means you're not afraid to take the lead, but you never force it. You guide, you suggest, you influence. Women are biologically wired to respond to a man who has direction, and this type of presence ignites that deep, primal attraction they can't explain. The third attitude is non-reactive behavior. Most men get thrown off by female tests. She says something sarcastic, acts distant, or tries to trigger an emotional response. The average man overreacts, justifying himself, defending his ego, or getting emotional. But the Stoic man, the high-value man, remains calm. He doesn't react impulsively. He observes, and then chooses whether to respond. This makes women feel both challenged and intrigued. They test you to see what kind of man you are. And when you don't fall into the trap, they feel they're in the presence of someone rare, someone they cannot manipulate. That's irresistible. The fourth attitude is selective availability. Women don't value what is constantly available. They are drawn to what feels earned, not handed over. When you are always texting first, always available, always eager, your value drops. But when you're selective, when you choose carefully how you spend your time and with whom, your value skyrockets. You become a prize to be earned, not a resource to be consumed. This doesn't mean playing games. It means living your life with purpose and not pausing everything every time someone reaches out. It shows you have a mission, a schedule, a life, and that is unbelievably attractive. The fifth attitude is intentional silence. Most men fill every silence out of discomfort. But powerful men know the value of a pause. They don't rush to speak. They let their energy speak. Silence used intentionally creates tension, depth, and anticipation. A woman will often say more in your silence than in your words. She'll wonder what you're thinking. She'll lean into the space. You'll notice how effective this is on dates, in conversations, and even through texting. A short delay, a deliberate pause. It's not disinterest. It's power. It's calm control. The sixth attitude is playful detachment. It's that combination of light-hearted humor with unshakable self-respect. You're not stiff or robotic. You can tease, joke, provoke, but never at the cost of your dignity. You're playful without becoming a clown. You flirt, but you're never desperate. This balance creates emotional polarity, a mix of fun and intensity that drives women crazy because they never quite know how to categorize you. You're not just another guy. You're a mystery wrapped in charm, and that's exactly what triggers emotional addiction. The seventh attitude is focused self-development. A man who is constantly growing, training his body, sharpening his mind, building his mission, he becomes naturally attractive. Not just because of what he achieves, but because of the energy he radiates. Women are drawn to men who are evolving. When you invest in yourself, your energy changes. You walk taller. You speak clearer. You carry yourself with purpose, and most importantly, you don't need women to feel complete. That detachment combined with your progress makes you a magnet. You're not chasing them. They're trying to keep up with you. The eighth attitude is strategic attention. Most men give attention randomly. But high-value men know how to give attention with impact. A deep gaze, a well-timed compliment, a touch when it matters. You don't flood a woman with praise, you give it with precision. And when you do, it hits deeper. Because it's rare. Scarcity increases value. Your attention becomes a reward, not a routine. She doesn't feel entitled to your energy. She feels lucky to receive it. That's how you build emotional tension. That's how you keep her wondering. The ninth attitude is firm boundaries with calm delivery. A man without boundaries is a man without value. But it's not just about saying no, it's about how you say it. Calm, firm, unapologetic. No drama, no explanation, just clarity. You don't tolerate disrespect, but you don't get emotional about it either. You walk away from low-value behavior not to punish but to protect your standards. And this paradoxically makes you more attractive, because it shows you love yourself more than you fear losing her. And that, to a woman, is powerful. The 10th and final attitude in this first part is unapologetic authenticity. Women are surrounded by men pretending to be what they think women want. But a man who owns who he is, fully, shamelessly, confidently, he stands out. You don't fake confidence, you become it by living truthfully. You don't try to impress, you simply express your truth. You don't chase approval, you live by alignment. And that energy is contagious. People feel it. Women crave it. Because it gives them something rare, a sense of certainty, a sense of groundedness, a man who knows who he is and doesn't apologize for it. That's not arrogance, that's presence. And presence is everything. Now that you've already unlocked the first set of powerful attitudes, it's time to elevate your understanding and move into the final layer that truly separates extraordinary men from ordinary ones. These next attitudes don't just make women attracted to you, they make them feel irresistibly drawn, emotionally invested, and psychologically connected to your presence. So let's continue with attitude number 6. magnetic calmness under pressure. Imagine you're on a date, and the conversation hits an awkward pause. Most men panic. They start rambling, looking for words, trying to fill the silence, but not you. A high-value man embraces the pause. He remains composed. He sips his drink slowly, looks her in the eyes, and allows space to breathe. That calmness, under pressure, creates a powerful psychological effect. Women associate emotional calm with leadership, protection, and masculine control. It makes them feel safe and intrigued at the same time. When the world spins fast, you remain still, and that stillness is intoxicating. Number 7 is purpose-driven living. A man who walks with purpose doesn't need to say a word to command attention. His presence speaks louder than his voice. His movements, his choices, his eyes, all reveal that he is on a mission. And women are magnetically drawn to a man who is driven. Why? Because purpose creates polarity. You become more than just another guy looking for a relationship. You become a man who brings energy, direction, and depth into a woman's life. She doesn't just see a man, she sees a force. And that force evokes respect and fascination. Number 8 is emotional maturity and silent confidence. Most men operate in extremes. They're either emotionally unavailable or overly reactive. But a man with emotional maturity knows how to feel deeply without being ruled by his emotions. He speaks less, but with more weight. He doesn't get dragged into drama. He listens fully before responding. He doesn't chase conflict, but he doesn't avoid confrontation. And this silent confidence shakes women's perceptions. He's the kind of man who walks into a room and doesn't need to say much, because everyone feels him. He holds space without competing. And that calm, maturity triggers a deep unconscious desire to get closer, to be part of that grounded energy. Number 9 is unfiltered presence. Presence is the art of being fully there, not half present, not distracted, not glued to your phone. When you're with a woman, you give her your full attention, not to impress her, but because you live in the moment. You're not thinking about what to say next. You're not rehearsing your lines, you're feeling the energy between you. And presence is so rare in today's world that it becomes addictive. When a man is fully present, his energy becomes amplified. Every word matters. Every pause has weight. Every glance feels deliberate. That's when a woman starts to feel truly seen. And when a woman feels seen, she opens herself in ways she never would with a man who's mentally elsewhere. Number 10, and perhaps the most powerful of all, is value alignment and decisiveness. Most men bend themselves to please, to adjust, to compromise their core values just to keep a woman interested. But the man who stands for what he believes, who lives by his standards without apologizing, he becomes unforgettable. Women may not always agree with you, but they will deeply respect you. You don't chase approval, you live by conviction. You're not afraid to walk away when someone violates your principles. And that integrity is rare, refreshing, and immensely attractive. Because a man who knows what he stands for becomes a lighthouse in the chaos. He shines his light with clarity, and only those aligned with that light can stay close. And here's the truth most men never hear. Women are not confused by men who are clear. They're addicted to them. A man who has boundaries, who says no when needed, who values himself and his time, creates a natural filter. He only allows quality into his life. He doesn't need games. He doesn't need manipulation. He doesn't need approval. His actions speak before his words ever could. And this is the moment when you understand. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about being grounded in who you are, consistently and unapologetically. Because when you show up with this energy, you no longer compete, you stand apart. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer question your worth, you embody it. That's when women start noticing things they never noticed before. The way you walk, the way you speak, the way you remain calm in chaos, the way you carry silence like a sword. And without realizing it, they start craving your presence, not because of what you do, but because of who you've become. That's the true power of these attitudes. They are not tricks. They are transformations. They shape your mind, your energy, your spirit. They take you from a man seeking attention to a man commanding respect, from a man trying to impress to a man leaving an impact, from a man chasing love to a man attracting desire. And all of this begins not with external change, but with internal decision. You decide to live by higher standards. You decide to act from your core values. You decide to build yourself first and then let the world come to you. That's the Stoic way. That's the path of masculine evolution. That's the journey you're now on. Every attitude you've learned here is a piece of that puzzle. And when you put them all together, something extraordinary happens. You become unforgettable. Not because you're loud, not because you're flashy, but because you're different. You're grounded. You're focused. You're in command of yourself. And that's what makes you rare. That's what makes you magnetic. That's what makes every woman you meet feel something she can't explain, but can't ignore either. Because real attraction isn't built on effort. It's built on energy. And your energy is now aligned with greatness. Now that you've absorbed all 10 attitudes, you're no longer the same man who clicked play at the beginning of this video. Something in you has shifted, because deep down you know you were made for more. You were never meant to spend your life chasing, begging, or proving your worth to anyone. You were meant to lead, to own your space, to move through this world with purpose and power. And that power doesn't come from superficial tricks. It comes from internal mastery. That's what you've built here today. You've seen what most men never will. That true attraction is not about external noise, it's about internal alignment. It's about how you walk, how you speak, how you think, how you carry your silence, how you stand when no one's watching, and how you choose to live regardless of who is or isn't looking. Women feel that. People feel that. And now, you carry that with you. But here's the question. What are you going to do with this? Will you let this video be just another dose of motivation, or will you turn it into your new identity? Will you go back to chasing, or will you start leading? Because this is the crossroad where most men fail. They listen, they nod, they feel inspired, and then they do nothing. But not you. Not anymore. You've seen the blueprint. You've felt the truth. And now it's your responsibility to embody it. Not just for women, not just to be more attractive, but because the man you're becoming deserves to be fully lived. A man who values his time, a man who speaks with purpose, a man who does not tolerate being treated as anything less than what he is worth, a man who no longer reacts, but responds, who no longer seeks validation, but expresses presence, who no longer lowers himself to be liked, but rises so high that he naturally filters out everything that doesn't match his standards. That's your future. That's your reality. And it begins the moment you stop making excuses and start living your standards. From this day forward, you don't wait to be chosen. You choose. You don't adapt to what's around you. You shape it. You don't prove your worth. You embody it. And the result? Everything around you changes. People treat you differently. Women notice you without even understanding why. Opportunities begin to find you. Not because you've become lucky, but because you've become magnetic. And that magnetism isn't forced. It's a consequence of your evolution. So here's your challenge. Don't just watch this video. Become the man this video was made for. Rewatch it if you need to. Take notes. Reflect. Identify where you're strong and where you still need to grow. But most importantly, take action. Even one attitude practiced consistently will change the trajectory of your life. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be intentional. Because consistency beats perfection every time. Show up for yourself. Every day. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. That's how you build real strength. That's how you build presence. That's how you build the kind of energy that commands respect without words. And don't be surprised when people start saying you've changed. You have. And you should. You're not here to remain the same. You're here to evolve. You're here to rise. And the truth is, this version of you, the one who lives these attitudes, is unstoppable. Women will notice, not because you're trying to get noticed, but because they feel your energy, your stillness, your direction, your unapologetic presence. They'll feel the difference, they'll see the standard, and many won't know how to respond. Some will be intimidated. Some will be inspired. Some will try to test you. Let them. Your job is not to adjust, it's to remain, to hold your frame, to live your truth, to speak less and express more, to give attention with purpose, to live from your mission, not your emotions. And if you do that, you'll never have to chase again, you'll never have to beg again, you'll never have to prove your value, because you will be the value. You'll be the standard, you'll be the man who stands firm while others sway, the man who walks calmly through chaos, the man who builds, creates, leads. That is the legacy you're shaping right now. And it all starts with these attitudes. So if you've made it to this point, you're not average, you're not ordinary, you're ready. And I want you to do something now. Type in the comments, "I live by standards." Not for likes, not for applause, but as a declaration to yourself. As a reminder that you've made a choice, a new path, a new identity, a new energy. And if you're serious about becoming the best version of yourself, subscribe now. This channel isn't just about content, it's about transformation. It's about building a generation of men who lead with presence, live with purpose, and command respect without chasing it. And share this video with someone who needs to wake up, because too many men are still asleep, still chasing, still lost. Help us shift the paradigm. Help us build better men. Men who aren't afraid to raise their standards. Men who choose character over comfort, purpose over pleasure, growth over mediocrity. Be that man, live that path, embody these attitudes until they become second nature. And soon you won't even recognize the man you used to be, because you will have become the man every woman craves, but more importantly, the man you were always meant to be. Stoic, focused, magnetic, unshakable.